Hello everyone. I decided to take a short break from colored pencils and try a new medium this time. I recently bought the Monkyo Gallery Oil Pastels set of 48. This is one of the most popular oil pastels available out there. Also, the set of 48 is not very expensive and so I decided to give it a go. As you can see, the set looks very pretty. It comes in with a tiny booklet with a color chart. I have never tried oil pastels before. Actually, until recently, I did not even know the difference between oil pastels and the crayons that kids use. I first tried the DOMS oil pastels as they were the cheapest ones available. But I found them a bit hard to blend and decided to try a better brand. The Gallery oil pastels are extremely soft and buttery and they blend easily. If you just search for oil pastels videos on YouTube, you will find that most of the artists use these. So inside the box you will find the names of the colors along with the numbers. As for papers, currently I'm using this paper from Canson. This is a 160 GSM paper and it comes in a variety of shades. This particular sketchbook has 20 sheets in these 4 shades. Each sheet has 2 surfaces. One side has a honeycomb grain and the other side is smoother with fine grain. This is the textured honeycomb side and this is the smoother side. Not sure how clear it is on camera, but I hope it will be more visible when I show you the drawings that I made on these. These are the other browns that are available in this particular sketchbook. You can also get these sheets in a wide variety of colors like pinks, greens, black, etc. But I decided to start with these mid-tone browns. Let's see some of my oil pastel drawings. I don't use any fixative to protect the drawing, but I keep a tracing paper on top of each sheet to prevent smudging. If you have been following me on Instagram, you would know by now that I love drawing fruits. Also, I think the best way to learn any medium is by starting with still life, as it helps you understand the shapes and forms better. The watermelon was quite easy, but the orange was a bit difficult. I made these drawings on the honeycomb side. I used the grain of the paper to my advantage to replicate the powdery texture of the watermelon. Some artists say that it's better to use a smooth paper for oil pastels and a textured one for soft pastels, but I don't feel so. I think this is just a matter of preference and depends on the subject as well. I made this avocado on the smoother side because I wanted to replicate its smooth buttery texture. Now let's look at another drawing that I made on a darker paper. I had a hard time getting the smooth shiny surface of the apple because I made the mistake of drawing this on the honeycomb side. I chose a darker paper for this one because if I had used a lighter shade of paper, then the apple slices would not stand out because of their light tone. I'm quite happy with the final result, although I think I could have achieved it much faster had I not used the honeycomb side. But ultimately, I think it's your skill that matters the most. This is actually my very first drawing with oil pastels. I know it does not look that perfect because getting these soft, blurry background was a bit difficult for me. Nevertheless, I enjoyed the process here, and I think oil pastels is one such medium where you can just relax and not obsess too much over the details. Having said that, I think it should be the artist's choice to do something photorealistic or something abstract or loose with any medium. Here are some beach drawings that I enjoyed the most as they were quite relaxing. This drawing I made on the textured side, but still I was able to get a very smooth, seamless blend with just my fingers. Of course, the honeycomb side is not too grainy or rough, so there's not too much of a difference compared to the smooth side. Let me show you another similar drawing that I made on the smoother side. Let me compare it with the previous drawing. I don't see a major difference here. After a lot of research, I bought this paper. In case you know of some other brands that go well with oil pastels, please let me know in the comments. This one I made recently. It's a bit larger compared to the previous ones and a little bit harder as well. especially the clouds and this green forest. I'm going to zoom this in so that you can have a closer look at the details. For the larger areas like the sky and the water, I used my fingers for blending, and for more detailed tiny ones like the forest, I used these cotton buds and blending stumps. I often use cotton buds for blending as they are quite inexpensive and easily available. You can also use these blending stumps that come in different sizes. You can use any brand. One thing you need to keep in mind is you need to clean them up when switching from one color to another. Otherwise, you might end up getting a muddy result. This is how I keep the blending stump clean and sharp. I rub it off on the sandpaper until I get rid of all the pigment. Another very important and most effective blending tool is your finger. Keep a tissue or some wet wipes handy to clean your fingers regularly. I will soon make another detailed video demonstrating all these techniques. You can also fold the tissue paper this way to get a pointy edge and then use it as a blending tool. It's better to use only one end of the pastel for larger areas and use the other end for crisp details and thin lines. You also need to keep the tips of the pastels clean regularly to avoid transfer of any unwanted pigment or muddy results. I don't have a video recording of the drawings that I showed you earlier because I myself wasn't confident enough while drawing those. I'm thinking of recording a detailed tutorial for a still life drawing next, because I see a lot of drawing tutorials on YouTube that focus on colorful skies, sunrise, or sunsets, but a very few still life drawings. Let me know your thoughts as well. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram. Thank you for watching.